We are back with Ask Rory, presented by BMW. Rory, we got another question.
All right.
All right.
Do it.
Hey, Rory. My name's Greg Willis, and I live in Centerville, Virginia. I wanted to ask you a question, a little bit technical. We know to draw, we come a little more inside out on it. To hit a straight shot, it's normal inside out, and then a cut shot, generally we're a little outside in our swing path. The club face angle, of course, is also going to play an impact where it's facing at impact. But not much talk about where your hands are at impact. And to be able to shape the ball, I've been finding an advantageous method to be able to cut the ball. I'm having my hands slightly forward, straight on is on top, and a draw, I'm making sure that my hands are staying slightly behind the ball at impact. And I wanted to hear what some of your thoughts are about where the hands are at impact and what gives you advantages in that respect. Appreciate your response.
All right.
All right. Cool. Very thorough.
Quite the question, yeah?
Okay.
All right.
So hand position at impact depending on shot shape. I would say it's not something I've ever really thought about. I would think more about hand position at impact depending on the trajectory of the shot I want to hit, whether I want to hit one low or hit one high. I mean, I guess it makes sense, what he's saying. If you're trying to hit a fade, you feel like your hands are ahead of it and you're like holding the club face. You're not letting it sort of release and let the toe roll over through impact. And then, the other way with a draw, if you're releasing it early and your hands feel like you're behind, that, it helps the club to release. So I think I'd like to see a video to see if his hands actually are behind the ball at impact. It could just be a feeling,
yeah,
right?
For sure.
More so, but it's interesting. It's not something that I've ever thought about, but I would always say to have your hands slightly ahead of the ball at impact.
Sure.
Like that would be something I'd never purposely teach someone to try to have their hands behind, because to get very technical, the dynamic loft then on the club I don't think it's a way to hit consistently good golf shots.
Yeah. Well, okay, so how would you say hit a draw or fade? Let's take us through your process.
So a draw for me is, and he's got it right with path.
Yeah.
Path is path and face are obviously the two most important things to hit a draw or a fade. But yeah, to me, a draw is a lot of this stuff, to be very simple, you can do through your setup. Like if I want to aim it at the right bunker here, I can aim it at the right bunker. With the way I learned how to hit a draw and a fade before we had all these numbers from TrackMan, was you set your body up to where you want the ball to start, you set the club face up to where you want the ball to finish, and you just swing it along your foot line. We now know that that's not the right way to do it, but it's a way to produce a right to left shot.
Sure. And your brain's going to organize what the specific path to face needs to be.
Yeah.
But as a general sort of thought process,
yeah,
it can
as
work.
a general simple guide of how to hit a shape of a golf ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were able to hit draws. So.
It works. But yeah, so inside out. So you want to make sure you're aiming right at your target, and you want to have the club face a little left of where you're swinging the path of the club to hit a draw, and then the same on the other side. You want to be aiming left of your target and have the club face just a little right of where you're swinging, and that'll create both shapes. So, but at no point am I thinking that my hands have to be ahead or behind, or I would like to say that my hand position in both shots is pretty consistent. So that would be my way of trying to simplify if you're trying to hit draws and fades.
So basically, get your alignment either way enough to shift the path either left or right of the target. And then, for a fade, you got to have the face a little open to the path.
Yep.
For a draw, you got to have the face a little close to the path.
Yep.
And then how much of that's a bit of just calibration for the
Yeah, it
individual?
is. And again, going back to some of the things we've talked about in the show before, is are you seeing a big shape? Are you seeing a small shape? Or and I think it's easier to start off with hitting big shapes to get a feeling of what you're trying to do, and then you can bring it in. And I think even if you ask me to hit a 1 yard fade, that's pretty difficult to do. Yeah. But ask me to hit a 10 yard fade, I could do that pretty easily. So
can you hit a 10 yard fade?
Yeah, I'm glad you got me to hit the 10 yard one and not the 1 yard one. But yeah, again, you aim left to your target. I mean, I have my club face pretty neutral. and then I'm just swinging and trying to hit that fade.
All right, beautiful. But you're not getting off that easy. 1 yard fade?
All right.
All right. It just wants
Zero yard fade?
Yeah, I think it fell right. Now, was the adjustment just in the setup?
Just in the setup,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, the more left you feel like you're aiming, the more left you're gonna swing, and you're gonna, again, subconsciously probably hold that club face off a little bit more. But yeah, it was mostly just to do with setup and just making sure that your alignment's in the right spot.
Gotcha. And then obviously the opposite for the
Opposite
draw.
for the draw.
Rory, great stuff. Thank you so much. Greg, hopefully that answers your question, both with the hand position as well as how to work shots. Hopefully it'll help you work some shots next time you play even better than you already are.